I've already mentioned the importance of consistent routines, and I want to explore that more now. Predictability and routine in any context tends to have a calming effect. As we say of many behavioral supports, they are good for all children, often critical for children with autism. Predictability builds trust and ultimately reduces anxiety. Bedtime routines not only accomplish this, but can also serve to regulate and cue the physical body for sleep if arranged properly. First off is snacks. You can offer a light snack about an hour before bed to make sure there is no grumbling bellies in bed. Just be sure nothing too heavy. Some fruit or carbohydrates, maybe a bowl of cereal or toast, works well. Remember, you want to keep things calm and settled leading up to bedtime, so carefully plan evening activities. I'm going to plug our motto here. You want to be sure to set up for success. If there are favorite activities you know your child has difficulty moving away from, try to plan that transition a bit earlier and step it down. By that, I mean avoid interrupting their favorite show or game with, "Okay, time to get ready for bed." Instead, end the favorite activity and move on to another enjoyable but slightly less preferred activity before announcing bedtime. That is, of course, unless your child is typically delighted to hear those words. But usually, if that were the case, you wouldn't be listening to me right now. So maybe you're moving from jumping on the trampoline or watching videos to playing Legos. There is one less battle leading up to bed. You want to also look at other triggers that may unsettle your child. If daily routines cause upset, try to move them a bit earlier as well. Brushing teeth or washing hair shouldn't be done right before bed if it's going to cause stress. Possibly you can move it to earlier, maybe just after dinner. So what is a helpful bedtime routine? Try to find 2, maybe 3 quiet, calming activities that can be done preferably in the bedroom, but another quiet area is fine. This is in preparation for sleep. It will vary from child to child, and you'll need to figure out what works for your child. But some ideas might include story time, massage or rubbing lotion on the arms and legs, maybe listening to music or singing songs. You could even try a nice relaxing foot bath. If your child sees an occupational therapist, they may even have some recommendations on activities that will help your child regulate and prepare for sleep. One additional note here, I strongly suggest that you make sure that at least some of this bedtime routine involves undivided, quality parent or carer to child time. There's a strong likelihood that this is happening anyway if you're including any of those activities I just mentioned, but sometimes this gets lost as children get older and become more independent. Bedtime is a great time to set aside the chaos of life and just enjoy that moment together. On a practical level, one of the more common reasons for children getting out of bed once they're tucked in is to seek attention in some form. If they've just had a good dose of quality attention, they'll be less likely to feel the need to go looking for it. But I certainly hope you'll enjoy it as much as them. I know I'm actually getting at the point where I'm dreading my children completely growing out of bedtime routine and missing out on that piece. So before we move beyond routines altogether, I just want to suggest you consider the use of visuals. Visual supports can take many forms, but here I'm referring to the use of a visual bedtime schedule. So for very young children, maybe those with autism, or other developmental delays, visual schedules can be very helpful even if the schedule itself is very routine. I like to think of these visual schedules as visual contracts. Again, it's about trust. And the great thing about visuals is they're not only helpful for the child. As adults or carers, we're much more likely to follow through with something when the instructions are right there in front of our face. So visual schedules really help promote consistency, especially where there may be different people leading bedtime routines on different days or in different locations. Here's one example here, but again, it can take many forms. And we've included a template and some visuals that you can download and use at home in this chapter.